In terms of the Auditing Profession Act, how is it set up? How is it structured? What are the different chapters? If we take a look at the chapters within the APA, we'll pick up and we'll get a feeling for how it is structured. The way that it is laid out gives an indication of what's inside there. So your interpretations and objects of the Act, Chapter 1, is to lay out the structure, the groundwork, and all the definitions to say if we're talking about this within this context, this is the definition we understand. URBA is given its functions and powers in Chapter 2. So in terms of the Auditing Profession Act, it states we give the power to enact all of these, to implement all of these, to run all of the stuff. We give the power to the professional body, the Independent Regulatory Board for Auditors. Chapter 3 talks about accreditation and registration for both individuals and firms. So if you as an auditor want to open an audit firm, there are certain things you need to make sure you've complied with, and you need to be registered with URBA. And you as an individual, if you want to become a registered auditor, you have to comply with registration requirements. So both in terms of individuals as well as firms, you've got to make sure you fall within the requirements of Chapter 3. When they talk about your firm as well, understand that all shareholders and directors become jointly and severally liable. So one of the issues we remember about audit firms is that they become personal liability companies. You can never separate yourself as a director. So audit firms can never have silent partners. They can never have shareholders who are not directors. All the directors must be shareholders, and all the shareholders must be directors in terms of the profession. Chapter 4, very important, and generally we go into more detail of Chapter 4, talks about the conduct of auditors, the liability of registered auditors. And in this case, it's very important when we study auditing to understand what specific guidelines and boundaries we have to work within. Is there certain things that we are and are not allowed to do? And best we understand that before we go any further. And what happens if things don't work out according to plan? What is our protection? The accountability of registered auditors, Chapter 5, deals with URBA's powers as far as the review practice, disciplinary actions. Chapter 6, offences. What is considered an offence? What is it as an auditor that you could do wrong that would be considered an offence? And general matters, general admin matters. For most part, the most important is Chapter 4, understanding the conduct and liability, when we talk about what we on a daily basis as auditors are allowed to do.